Welcome. It's lovely to have you here again today. Today is Monday, the 5th of September 2022, and this is my Poppa-Rex, my mum's father. And it has been 30 years since your Father's Day, Death Day. So 30 years ago, the 5th of September was Sunday, and it was Father's Day here in New Zealand, and that is the day that you left the earth plane. And I have been thinking about you yesterday and today, and I knew that today was going to honour you, and even I am surprised at the wondrous way that you have pulled all of that together for me. So let us start with the Twittergram. So on the Twittergram, I have a friend on there, and this person, after a significant number of years not having her medical issues resolved and being herded down the mental illness is your problem chute, she has had her medical records provided to her, and what the GP wrote about her in her referrals and the experiences she's had with a taxpayer-funded corporation, specifically the Southland DHB, but put any of the DHBs in there. And now that her medical records have been released to her, she is... One, it's infuriating her, and she is voicing her infuriation out in the Twittergram world. And number two, now it's all starting to make sense. The gaslighting and the pushing mental illness on her when she's been seeing them about physical problems, it's all starting to make sense to her. And on the Twittergram, I have had the benefit of watching her indignation, her moments of clarity, and it all making sense play out for me, and it's been illuminating, and that's probably just where I want to leave that one there. What else have we got? Oh, I found this little Bible when I was cleaning up over the weekend, and it's got my name written in there in my childhood writing. So I have had a Bible my whole life. And today I opened it to this page here. Ephesians, is that how you say it? Ephesians. Be you kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you. Ephesians 4:32. So that's the little Bible reading that wanted to be here with us today. And I went back to my autograph book, which I now see has a peacock on it, which is the bird that your parents always had in their backyard as a child, and why peacocks seem to be so important. And I had thought and hoped that it would just be perfect if you had written something in here, and there is something that may have been written by you, but it doesn't have a signature. But I did find what your wife, my grandmother, wrote less than 1 year before she took the ultimate sacrifice and chose to take herself out of the earth plane as her last and only method of pain relief, because these systems had said that her poisoning was all in her head, and what she has told me was many a true word spoken in jest. Always remember that. So I will remember that. Thank you very much. What else do we have on here? Automatic writing. So that's something that quite often when you start a spiritual path or you're not feeling well path, people tell you to journal and write, and then people say they don't know how to do it. So for me, it's really simple. You start writing, you reread it in the book, and for myself, notice when the I becomes a you, because that's when the pen is taken over by your mind and your consciousness, and some other spirit can step in and give you messages. There's a mantra that I wrote out. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. I am here. You are never alone. And when I wrote it, before this paper got this elegantly not messy, I didn't quite understand it, but now I do. So for anyone who has a father in spirit, this mantra is either a mantra for you to say to them in spirit, or it is their spirit saying this mantra back to you. So for any earthbound orphans, here's a mantra. I forgive you. I love you. Thank you. I am here. You are never alone. And this morning the song of the day popped up, and it is My Hero, the Foo Fighters, featuring Shane Hawkins. And my understanding is he's a 16-year-old boy who suddenly and unexpectedly this year lost his father. And he came onto the stage, the Foo Fighters, his father is the drummer in that band. And the band has had a tribute concert to their man Taylor over the weekend. I believe it was over the weekend. And his son came on and played this song and played the drums for him. And just as I was finishing up, the song came on again, and I thought to look up the lyrics, and then they wanted to be jammed in the page here. Too alarming now to talk about. Take your pictures down and shake it out. Truth or consequence, say it aloud. Use that evidence, race it around. So yeah, this woman, she's using her evidence and she's racing it around. There goes my hero, watch him as he goes. There goes my hero, he's ordinary. Don't the best of them bleed it out, while the rest of them peter out. Truth or consequence, say it aloud. Use that evidence, race it around. So I'm going to just now share the automatic writing when I connected in with my Poppa-Rex this morning and what came out. And when we come back, we have a question for the cards. So, and it's what guidance, support, wisdom and messages do the fathers in spirit have for their earthbound orphan children to assist with navigation of the systems of the world in a way that is heart-centered and not aligned with the mind programming. Oh yeah, the intent with which the mind and the systems have been programmed. So that's a big question, but the cards are all shuffled, and the New Zealand deck with our collective consciousness with regards to what we are thinking and feeling about these medical systems. They're ready for us to go. So this morning I sat down, and this is what I wrote. Monday the 5th of September 2022, 5th of the 9th 92 to the 5th of the 9th 22, 30 years without you here, Poppa-Rex. 30 years since that terrible Father's Day when your broken heart finally gave out and you returned home to your soul's essence and the family of eternity that lives forever in the spirit and eternal realms. I am just seeing all the connections again with my new unprogrammed eyes. This person and this person tried to save you while your daughter looked on, and you were unsavable. And now this person, and this person are with you, working to save all of us on planet Earth now in this time your mother prophesied about. I have only heard this prophecy from Mum, your middle child, that her grandmother told her and your eldest child around 1977-ish. And what your mother said was, not in her time, but in your eldest daughter's and your middle daughter's time, 1/3 of the world's population will be dead. 1/3 of the world's population will be sick. 1/3 of the world's population will be left looking after the other third. Over these past 18 months, I mistakenly thought that meant they would be sick and unwell from the treatment. Over the past few months, as my soul's essence, my higher self, my wairua, my best and highest good is all coming back to me, I can see that the real or really pandemic, the true illness, is mental wealth. Over the past 30 to 40 years, over the past 30 to 40 years of my life, mental illness was rebranded mental health, and the virus that is/was going to be weaponized on the world was unleashed. Slowly and insidiously, the virus of it's okay to not be okay was released. The stories of early sufferers was extremely grim. Medications for life was the only cure, and the early victims were cared for, and I say that with total sarcasm, in an abhorrent, uncaring and traumatic manner that only reinforced their moment in time of extreme emotion that was and is appropriate for whatever human experience they were going through. Those first popcorn pieces of sick forever souls were released, infected with a false belief that they could never be well again without a medical system run and controlled by psychopaths, and infected with the evil curse of Wetiko and their magic pills. In parallel, systems were then insidiously introduced to cause and inflict constant and total stress on a population being told it's okay to not be okay, and the problem is you, the problem is you, the problem is you. Total effing bullshit. The systems are the problem, and they are the snake eating its own tail. Oh look, here or there is a problem. Oh look, here is a group of experts that know better how to solve your problem than you. I never had that problem, arsehole. I do see though how your marketing and sales departments sold me the problem as mine. Oh, let us solve your problem for you. And in the solving of that problem, the snake creates a bigger problem, thus achieving the virus of Wetiko's aim, infecting the individual souls and growing in exponential, insidious ways, like a fart that you never spoke up about, and now you're choking on the fumes of poison, and a programming of politeness prevents you or me or anyone to speak up. Because, remember, to speak up, you are outing yourself as, I am not okay. And once that effing system gets their hands on you, their one aim is to make sure you repeat that mantra, that spell, until you are spellbound and believe all that store high in transit to be true. It effing isn't true, not at all. And now 30 years later, you can see clearly what my mother, Peggy, knew with absolute certainty. The unwellness, although physical in genesis and origin, toxic poisoning from chemicals, poisons, and a world with systems and soldiers in place to be weaponized as mental health destroying pathogens. The windsman telling hundreds of hungry people each week that computer says no, the programmed system says no. You can't get a food grant this week. You've had too many already this year. He is both inflicting the system's virus of stress, unwellness, dysregulated body, mind, and soul on the hundreds of people he speaks with, and at the same time, he is infecting himself. A good human, which we all are, hurts and gets dysregulated themselves with every "computer says no! The programmed system says no!" Mental illness by 1,000 paper cuts, all inflicted by the system saying no, and the hungry man wanting to feed his family and children, and the hungry man wanting to feed his family and children, both slowly are programmed to think each other are the problem. And then when the crippling hurting can no longer be blamed on someone else, the initial programming kicks in. It's you. You're the problem. You're not okay. These whispers, these HR courses that are presented as ways and means to be more resilient and oh so helpful, but are tainted with that fart smell. There is something wrong with you if you struggle to tell a hungry man, no food for you. Or when you speak up about racism, discrimination, corruption, and wrongness in the system, the HR doublespeak and double dutch that traps you in Shylob's web, and you're the problem. We can offer you EAP. All designed to dysregulate your vagus and vagal nerve, put you into fight or flight, and with suggestive, hypnotic, and seductive language, backed up with anger, fire, and fury, it sinks in like ink into chalk. You are the problem. Your mind is the problem. Total effing BS, by the way. Absolute BS. You, your mind, your values and beliefs, these are pure and true. It's the sick systems in operation that are making your heart hurt. And while I'm at it, let's also clear up that mistaken belief also. It's not your mind that is hurting, it is your heart. The heart of Mother Earth, the heart of Gaia is hurting. And it's your heart that is hurting too. By you, I mean humanity. The 8 billion souls you are constantly told the planet cannot sustain. Bullshit. All bullshit. The planet, Gaia, Mother Earth, Papatuanuku, she can support over 888 billion human souls living harmoniously in connection with each other. This planet could thrive. This planet has and does have the potential to heal the entire universe. The planet, and therefore you, your heart, is broken because these evil systems are hurting her and you. So my little elephant, my little I got down nicely, your soul came here to experience all the different heartbreaks. You couldn't be told as a child to proceed with caution. Being told about a painful experience, that wasn't how you chose to learn this life around. You fell off that sawhorse, you hit the ground, you hurt yourself badly, and then you looked at me with eyes that could still make tears, and with eyes swimming in tears, swimming with tears, you told me, I got down nicely, Poppa-Rex. Well, my girl, I've watched you the past 30 years, and boy, you got down nicely time after time after time. You are our hero. You have walked into the heart of the evil. You walked into their system and you saw with your own dry, uncrying and uncryable eyes how truly evil and designed to turn people's hearts against their own minds the system is. You broke it down and saw every one of its flaws. And the biggest thing you've seen is that the staff, they are the most trapped and driven mad by the entire structure. They're carved away within. For people called to heal and care, the medical system is built to chip away at their heart until they move to their mind and believe the programming. I'm the problem. That is effing BS too, by the way. You see it clearly. When you showed your mother the Dispelling Wetiko book, She told you it was something my mum and dad would read, believe, and talk about. I thank them for bringing that book to you. From today, you will find it easier, less chunky to read. Enjoy them being with you as you read it, and any words or concepts you don't know, ask them. They will tell you the true meaning, not the Google word for it. It's wonderful you are getting an old printed dictionary. Words and their meaning is being rewritten in real time at the moment. An old-fashioned dictionary will get you through. Words are important. They are spells, and the darkness knows light always trumps darkness. Keep your north anchored to the true definition of words, and you will be in the 1/3 of people who help and heal those who are hurting. Physical dis-ease was first, then comes the psychological warfare. Over years and years of being somatically dysregulated, a human soul's heart can and does play mind tricks. Those mind tricks have been observed, and now the systems are attempting to weaponize minds against first each other and then themselves. It won't work, by the way. Keep up your heart-based healing, my little elephant. You are forging the path they tell you is less travelled. That is BS too. The path of walking in harmony with yourself and an earth that isn't being sacrificed and abused, and in harmony with your fellow man, all of Gaia's progeny. That path is the well and most travelled path. It's wonderful to see you consciously remembering that fact. Trust yourself. That is all I have for you, my little elephant. Your life's path truly was the roller coaster path, and there are so many loops you made yourself sick on many times. You learnt both what good trusting and bad touching are like. Now use all of everything you are and have always been to heal yourself and the world with love and colour. Fulfill your destined destiny. Love, Rex. So there we go. That was the writing, and that is just a example of how to do it. So it's just see one, do one, teach one. So yeah, this is what I did today, and now you've seen what I did, and now you can do one yourself. Right, so let's get to the cards and ask, what guidance, support, wisdom and messages do the Fathers in Spirit have for their earthbound orphan children to assist with navigation of the systems of the world in a way that is heart-centered and not aligned with the mind programming intent of state, religion, information and disinformation? So the cards have been shuffled, and these are the ones that want to go on top. So the advice, that's the situation, the past that led to this, what is going on, the outcome, and some advice, and some secondary advice. Okay, so these aren't really fitting on the page, are they? Oh well, they're obviously meant to be all mushed up. Okay, so the advice that earthbound fathers are giving their children, the advice of the mantra: allow yourself to see how incredibly self-sufficient and unreliant on these systems you actually are. This independent figure in this card doesn't need a system. They don't need anyone or anything. That is the meaning of the Nine of Pentacles card, the independent sovereign being. So that is the advice, is remember you are an independent sovereign being, and you, your heart, and Mother Earth, Gaia, Papatuanuku, you are one of her progeny, and when all of the progeny are working harmoniously together, you don't need systems to, medical systems to tell you that all of your problems are in your head. So the situation of these systems, these medical systems, how do we best stay heart-centered and not go to the state and religious delivered programming where we believe falsely that the problem is all in our head? This is the Nine of Cups, so the emotional self-satisfied card, and this, I believe, is telling us to just sit in your experience. If someone has just died suddenly and unexpectedly, and your questions aren't being answered in a manner that gives you peace, then know in your heart that your lack of peace is not a problem in your head. Trust your heart, trust your feelings, and know that they are real. And extreme emotion is appropriate. It's part of the human experience. And if grief is one of these extreme moments, and if you feel it with every part of your body, then you are honouring yourself and whatever you are grieving for. These systems will tell you there is something wrong with you for having an extreme emotional reaction. That is incorrect. And if you've had an extreme emotional reaction at a point in time that was appropriate for that particular point in time in your life, do not be programmed to think that therefore something was wrong with you then, and now that you're having an extreme emotional reaction, that means categorically and conclusively that you are broken in your mind forever. No, you have a broken heart, you have an experience to process, and like every storm, this too shall pass. But as someone very wise shared with me once, the cure for the pain is the pain. So the past that led to this, it's just an assault of communication. All of these systems have been telling us that the problem is you, the problem is in your mind, and over 30, 40, 50 years of that, people, words are spells, they're important, and many a true word are spoken in jest. So, I must be losing my mind. That's a spell that you've put on yourself. So what's going on? What's going on between the people of the world being told that your instincts are wrong and you and the earth cannot take care of yourself, and if you believe that to be true, then there must be something wrong with your mind, or you've had an experience that it does provoke, it just makes you be human, and you've had a big emotional reaction, and and any belief that is what's wrong with you, just get rid of that. The world is looking, we're communicating, but we're also looking to the future. And I believe that this card is, we're actually looking to the past where the planet was in harmony, and the heart of each progeny on the planet was aligned and beating to the same vibration of both their fellow progeny, but also Mother Earth herself. And people are looking to the past and sharing these ideas, and communities are coming together. So the outcome is the King of Pentacles. As a planet, we are going to get our divine masculine and our divine feminine back. And we are going to live harmoniously as the kings and queens of our own physical castles. Just look at this. The earth is healed, and look at all the fruits that come with that healing. And this level of comfort. And it does seem like the castles in the background and the systems have all crumbled, and now we are front and center in our world. So some advice is the Four of Pentacles. This is an interesting card. I think it's saying sit tight in your discomfort. If this world, these systems of the world are feeling like there's something wrong with them, you're right to have that feeling. But sit with your discomfort. And I'm also seeing this as I'm remembering that something I've written in one of my journals from the 90s, and it says the man with the most toys still dies. So yeah, remember that while you're trying to hold on to your precious, the man with the most toys still dies. And if you're feeling that there is something wrong in the world, just sit with that discomfort, because you are not wrong. And some other advice is the Three of Wands, just looking to the future. For me, this man has let go of his state programming. He has let go of his religious programming. He's let go of his misinformation programming. He's let go of his disinformation programming. And he's holding on to this stick, which is him connected to his own soul's essence, his own wairua, his own soul's purpose and his mission on why he chose to come to earth and incarnate at this time and have all of the experiences that we are collectively experiencing. So those are those cards, and as always I leave them here, and when I tidy up, all of these other things come to me that, you should have said that, you should have said that, you know, this card actually means this, and yeah, so I get the benefit of that, but I am trying to keep these to under 14 minutes. So, but here's the other thing. I've been programmed to think that my attention span can't stay focused for anything longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and that is incorrect as well. So New Zealand, the 6 million of us, the 5 million that weren't allowed to leave, and the 1 million that weren't allowed to come home. With regard to these systems, but specifically the medical systems, where are we at with our collective consciousness? And this is the card that wants to come out. Temperance, middle path, patience, and finding meaning. So I think the God of Peace is here with us all. People like my Twittergram friend are seeing that actually this system was actually the cause of all of their health issues the past decade or so. Both their physical health that was not addressed, those issues were allowed to fester and percolate and get worse. Because of the deflection to it's all in her head, it's all in her mind, and she is mentally unwealthy. But people are seeing these systems for what they truly are, and how, with all of our collective taxpayer money being thrown to these experts who know better than us, the evidence is all around us that these systems are not healthy and they are not helping our health. If they were helping our health, we wouldn't have these children that have just endured over 2 years of unrelenting stress and pressure in their daily experiences. They're going out and they're taking their teenage testosterone, their unformed brains, and 2 years of living through times that were designed to cause them to go into fight or flight. If these systems were capable of supporting those children, those individuals through these times, they wouldn't be getting in their cars and ram-raiding shops and stealing things and shoplifting so openly, and then telling the people who are saying, please don't take that, you're a thief and that's wrong, they wouldn't be telling them to F off. Like, if these systems actually were the answer, we wouldn't have the problems we're having. And I believe that New Zealand is waking up to that. Stop blaming these children. Stop blaming their parents. They are just one individual heart. The collective heart, the collective systems that say they know better, they are what are hurting these people. So I'm going to leave that with us all there today. And I'm going to thank my Poppa-Rex for coming and spending the last few days with me. And as I'm tidying up, I'm going to go and listen to that 16-year-old boy play the drums and figure out, is he playing the drums for his dad because his dad is his hero, or is his dad writing those lyrics and telling his son that his son is his hero? And I've just got chills all over my body. So body says yes, it's those in spirit. Those spirit fathers are letting all of their earthbound children know, you are my hero. You're ordinary, but you are my hero. Okay. Much blessings and love and light to everyone.